Good morning to one and all. Today we are going to discuss about deep learning using design thinking. Too many people think that AI is a business solution to many problems that we're facing today. There is probably a neural network, a large enough data sets that can help us make a decision to a problem and impact an user. But to use this data in an effective way to create a product, we need to understand if the problem is even real to begin with. We need to understand the people because at the end of the day, the companies that are consumer product driven solve the problem that the people face. To start off, we need to ask ourselves the problem is a real problem or just a reason to creatively apply AI. On a broader scale, we need to ask if applying a human-centered approach to data science is a way to go out what the problem solving in AI. Many industry needs are becoming a strong supporter of this the idea. And after empathizing and doing a user research, we need to know if a problem is visible enough to be solved using artificial intelligence. After understanding the problem and researching it, the use case, we need to ask whether few questions to understand if the deep learning algorithms or the approaches compared to the normal predictive algorithm. Some way to know that if there is a problem where the neural network gives us an uplifting over a traditional algorithm. If it is clear that there is enough data to train, if there is a problem is complex enough, if you have an appropriate type of neural network to solve the problem. Once we have identified that AI is a visible solution, the steps to create a neural network pipelines are finding and define a neural network architecture that is more suitable for the required problem, divide the data into patches, pre-process the data using image processing, augment the data to increase the size, feed batch to the neural networks for training, test your model and save it for the future use. This pipeline can be thought of using a very innovative 5-step design thinking approach proposed by the David. The purpose of a design thinking, a design methodology that provides a solution-based approaches to solve the problem. There are the steps that can be followed to the approaches to the deep learning using design thinking. And our students will be discussing on the 5 different stages.
I'm here to talk about deep learning and design thinking. So, the step 1 is to empathize and analyze the first stage of the design thinking process, is to gain an empathetic understanding of the problem you are trying to solve and your users as well. So talking about design thinking, it helps us to get a better understanding of the problem that you wish to conquer by talking to people or users and consulting experts of the matter of engaging further into the issue to better understand the problem. So next comes deep learning. So deep learning helps us to understand a real-world consumer problem where application of a neural network will significantly impact the problem. A neural network isn't the solution to everything. We need to understand real-world problems from users in order to create something meaningful using AI. We can start by understanding users' key decisions and metrics that will be better predictors of those problems.
So I'm going to say about the step to define and synthesize. Define means to put together all the information gained during the empathize step and analyze the data to create a meaningful challenge statement. In design thinking, define the problem as a problem statement in a human-centered manner. In deep learning, the define is executed in a way to find or synthesize a data based on the problem that is being solved. Load data in a suitable place. Prepare the data, randomize, visualize to see imbalances relationship. Pre-process, divide and augmented the data to be sent for training. Split data into training, evaluation and test.
Step is ideate. Ideate is the stage of your design process in which you can aim to generate radical design alternatives. Come up with as many solutions to the problem that was thought of the previous step. Design thinking in ideate. Use the information from the previous stage to generate ideate and brainstorm as many potential solutions as possible. Deep learning in ideate. In this step, choose a model for your specific problem. Many models have been created for images, sequences such as text or music, numerical data or text-based data. If not, you can even define your own model architecture by adding architecture layering one at a time until you are happy with your network.
The fourth step is the prototyping. In prototyping, we produce a number of inexpensive scaled-down versions of the product or specified features found within the product. The team will work on creating a number of inexpensive products with specific features. This allows for the design thinkers to investigate possible solutions to the problems that were identified in the earlier stages of the design thinking process. In design thinking, basically we say this prototyping as the design mockups are created based on all the ideas generated in the previous stages. These are low or high fidelity wireframes that implement the ideation concepts. So in deep learning, in this step, we train the model using the trained data, and then we start manipulating the data and turning the hyperparameters based on the results of training.
This stage we are going to discuss about test and validate. And testing is the chance of getting feedback on your solution, refine solution to make them better, and continue to iterate upon the concept. In this design thinking part, we test our prototype using user testing technique to see how well they solve the problem and that we initially analyzed on the previous stage. And the part of deep learning, we test the model using the test dataset which provide the gold standard used to evaluate the model. Based on the result of testing and validating, we iterate the process of hyperparameter using tuning to improve and accuracy of the model.
This can be summarized into three major steps: research and prototyping, productization of a model for actual end users, reinforcement of a system in a real world. Using design thinking for the deep learning provides a framework and a process for something that otherwise has many steps and is complicated process with many stages. This design thinking outlooks